What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hammerstang and today we will be talking about the OnePlus 12R in my final review after using this phone for the past few weeks. So yes, a lot of things that I do want to share with you guys, and I'm going to break it down into 4 main segments over here just to give you guys a whole brief review on how this phone has performed for me, because we have already gone through the key specs and features and we're going to see how those actually translate to your everyday usage. So yes, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, so let's start off here with the pricing on the OnePlus 12R. So here in Malaysia, it does go for about 3,199 ringgit, which would place it at about the $700 mark. So it's not a full-on mid-range phone, because I would classify it more to the 500 and below there. And I wouldn't say it's a full-on flagship phone either. But of course, if you look at this phone and the specs, you would think that this is a really good flagship phone to get in 2024. So the first segment that I do want to talk about here is, of course, the holding experience. So what it means is that I'm going to talk about the build, design, just basically how the phone would feel in your hand. And what I can say is that it feels really premium indeed. You have a nice glass on the back over here. We have the cool blue edition. And I gotta say, it actually looks really, really cool because it has that very simple design, but still a very fun design here with the bright blue, especially if you're gonna bring it outdoors. And also when it comes to the sides of this phone here, it does have a nice curve on the phone here to give you a nice grip to it. It is quite a heavy phone, so it does give you that premium weight and a premium feel to it. So that's of course one thing. Some people may like a more lighter phone, but I think this is a really good phone to have in your hand. Even when you're watching it on your bed and you put it into your face, you don't have to worry about it too much. And one more thing I'll talk about here is the camera layout. So we have one of the camera layout, which is quite big, but it is located more to the side and on the top. And what I think it offers is that it offers that kind of finger stop for your hand. So in case if you want to go through your social media and just use your phone in general, it does have that stopper there to give you the assurance that this phone will not kind of topple over. So this is really, really nice. And overall, the design on this is really nice. And what I mean by that is that if you look at the front display, it does have the curved display as well. It does give it a futuristic look. Some people might like it, some people may not like it. I wouldn't say it's very aggressive when it comes to the curve. Overall, still very well balanced. So I really like the overall feel on this, because one thing that I was a little bit skeptical about this is the fact that the alert slider, it was located on the other side. Usually we will get it on the same side with the volume rockers and the power button. For some reason here, they have placed it on the left side. Maybe it's because of the camera module, which is located on the right side of the phone. But it is still really, really nice to have that in your phones, because I think they did cancel it in the OnePlus 10, but they brought it back here with the 11 and also with the 12R. So overall, the feel of this phone is really, really nice. We have the anti-fingerprint aluminum frame, which is really good. But on the back here, it does kind of attract a little bit of some fingerprint smudges on this. And one thing I really didn't like about this is the phone didn't give you a phone case right off the box. So you have to actually go out and buy it yourself. And it's a little bit hard because it's the 12R. It's not the main flagship 12 phone here. So it's a little bit hard to get your phone. You had to buy it on Shopee or AliExpress to get a proper phone case on this, because you will get a lot of smudges here, so you have to always wipe it. It is a little bit slippery for my liking over here, so you have to be a little bit more careful when you're holding this phone. But overall, I would say in terms of the rating, I would give this a solid 8 out of 10. Okay, so next up here we're going to talk about is of course the viewing experience. So this will cover the display, the speakers, and also the haptics on this phone. And when we talk about the haptics here, I gotta say that it is really nice. It does give you that subtle, strong approach when it comes to your haptics. So in case if you can use it for your gaming or just scrolling through your phone, it feels really premium indeed. So I really do like it. And of course, if we talk about the display here, it's really, really good. We have a massive 6.78-inch display, so it's really nice, very good for all your viewing experience. You want to watch your Netflix, your Disney Plus. I've been watching a lot of my X-Men 97 on this, so it's really, really enjoyable. And of course, the colors on this is really nice, very bright, very vibrant, very contrasty. So of course, anything that you expect from a flagship display, you will get it here with the OnePlus 12R. Of course, one thing that I really like with the new technology they have introduced with their OnePlus phones is the Aqua Touch. And I would say actually it's very, very helpful, because here in Malaysia, where we get a little bit of monsoon season, we get some rain here and there, and I'm a dentist, so I do wash my hands regularly and my hands get a little bit wet, some dampen. So it really helps a lot when you have the AquaTouch technology over here. So if you want to go through your social media or just go through your phone in general, sometimes with that little bit of water droplets, it will not detect it, and you can't really use your phone. You have to wipe it on yourself, and then especially when you're going outdoors and you want to use the GPS, your Waze, your Google Maps or whatsoever, it gets really annoying. But I would say with this, I wouldn't say it's perfect yet, but it's much better than many other phones that we have seen in the market today. So that's a really great technology they've introduced with their phones right here. I really do like it as well. And of course, if we talk about the speakers on this, it's really nice, very loud. We have your stereo speaker setup, so you don't have to worry about it when you're watching your shows. I know some people would use their earphones anyway, but for me, I like to use it on the go right here. And I got to say, in terms of the whole viewing experience on this, I would give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Okay, so next up over here we're going to talk about is the user experience. So this will basically cover the hardware and also the software side of things. So inside here we have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, 16 gigs of RAM. Of course, you can expand it with 12 gigs of RAM. And of course, we have 256 gigs of storage, UFS 3.1. So what that all translates to is a very fast and of course a smooth experience with the Oneplus 12R. Of course, we know with OnePlus phones, they've always since they were born with the OnePlus One, they've always emphasized on speed, on the smoothness, and definitely it still follows here with the OnePlus 12R. You're going to definitely feel the phone is really fast, even when you're multitasking with multiple apps, and if you're into a lot of gaming, it gives you the best connection ever. Now, of course, this phone here is Wi-Fi 7 ready, so in terms of the bands over here, they'll give you very strong Wi-Fi connection, and also when you're using your 4G, 5G or whatsoever. So I really like the whole experience here. It's very reliable, I would say. A lot of times, sometimes if I come out from a Wi-Fi location, it will take some time for the 5G to set up. But for this, it's actually very fast. So that's one thing to compliment on this. And of course, the overall experience of this phone is really good. I didn't really notice a lot of bugs or a lot of stutters or lags or whatsoever. Of course, like I mentioned before, the multitasking is really good, but of course you will have some refreshes here and there, but the overall experience on this is actually very fast. A lot of times I would forget to turn off some of my apps that I've opened before, because the phone still performs really well even if you have multiple apps turned on. So overall, in terms of the user experience here, it's really good. And of course, if you couple that up with the software side of things here, we have the Oxygen OS 14. A very good and polished software. Of course, it does give you a little bit more or some bells and whistles compared to what we were used to when it came to OnePlus phones. But I would still say it does have a little bit of that OnePlus personality over here. Very simple, very minimalistic, and I really do like it a lot. The photo editing as well, the feature that comes in the gallery has improved as well. So you can actually edit a lot of stuff on the go without downloading many other apps. So that, again, that is one thing that's really nice about this. And of course, the battery life on this phone. So the battery experience on this has been really amazing. We have a 5500 milliamps of battery over here, and of course you have your 100-watt Super Vogue charger support. So all in all, it translates to a very good battery experience over here. You get more than a day of usage, and of course you can just pump it up very fast. But again, you have to buy it on the go. You have to buy it from the shop, so it will cost you a little bit of some money over there. So all in all, the user experience I would give on this is a solid 8.5 out of 10. Alright, so last but not least, let's talk about the camera experience that comes with the 12R. So when it comes to OnePlus phones, we all know they have been over the years really good, but it doesn't really compete with the Pixels, the Samsungs, the iPhones, the Huawei's. And it kind of follows here with the 12R because yes, first of all, you don't have the Hasselblad branding on this. So if you guys have been used to or you really like the OnePlus phones with the Hasselblad calibration or that processing, the imaging, processing and all that, you won't really get it here. But I would say it's actually very close to what you normally get with the OnePlus 11. I don't have the 12, so I can't really say. So it still comes out really nice. Your dynamic range is very nice. You have good colors as well. Very natural skin tones, I would say, and natural overall like lighting, especially when it comes to places where you have a lot more sunlight coming in, natural light. It gives you very nice output here. When it goes to indoor settings, that's where it a little bit struggles, because when it comes to portraits, it kind of looks a little bit more washed out. The bokeh effect doesn't really kick in, but overall it's still actually quite decent. When it comes to night mode as well, when it comes to OnePlus phones, it's always been an issue for me because it kind of just speeds things up. It doesn't give it the time to actually capture light coming in, to give a little bit more details for the night processing to work. So that is still one thing that is a problem here with the OnePlus 12R. And overall, I think this is a camera where I would say I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And the reason why I'll say that is that it's still very, very good, but it's not a camera system where I would say like, yes, go out and buy the 12R for the cameras. But it's still very, very safe, and of course still very, very good for most people here. Anyway, if you guys want to use it for your vlogging sessions or whatsoever, if you want to record stuff outdoors and even indoors, I would still say it's very, very reliable in that sense. So yeah, I would give it a fair 7 out of 10. Okay, so that is it with my final review here of the OnePlus 12R. And of course, the ultimate question is, should you go and buy it? For me personally, I would go out and buy it because at the price point of about 3,000, you're comparing it to phones like the S23 or maybe the S24 if you can find one on a good discount. And I would say if you compare this to many of their flagship phones, it still performs really, really well. But if you compare this to OnePlus 11, should you get it? Of course, you have 1 year extra of software updates, and that is where I think it gets a little bit tricky over here. Because for me personally, I would probably go for the OnePlus 11 because it would be cheaper than this. But I know some people that want the extra year of software updates because they want to use the phone as long as they can, so they want to go for this. Other than that, I would say the only thing that's really, really beneficial for this is of course the battery life on this, 5500, and also it does support your 100 watts of super VOOC charging. So that's the only two things that you might want to consider if you want to get this instead of the OnePlus 11. Of course, these are just my thoughts and my opinions. Leave yours in the comment section down below, and of course, if you guys have any opinions or you want to share anything, do so in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, do click the like and smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.